You know him, you love him, and now we have him at VSiN, the Vegas Stats and Information Network. It helps to be connected, and nobody knows more of the bookies in Las Vegas than Brent Musburger. It's My Guys in the Desert with the legend of the guys behind the counter, broadcasting only on the Vegas Stats and Information Network at vsin.com and SiriusXM Channel 204. Live from the VSiN studios, it's the one and only Brent Musburger.
So, full disclosure, I had to go to the Red Rock from my house earlier today. Last man standing, you start with five tickets, and I had 3 left. And I'm standing over by the Starbucks after I put in, oh yes, the Anteaters, Liberty, and Oregon as our 3 picks today. And some fellows came over, and we started talking, and they say, we were out to dinner last night with your buddy. I said, what do you mean, which buddy? I got lots of them. We were at dinner at Mall Shaw. I said, you went to dinner with my man at Mall? What restaurant you go to? Oh, that great steakhouse. I said, you took a vegetarian to a steakhouse down to T-Bones? He said, well, he was raving about the eggplant parmesan. You didn't tell me you were going to dip into the Summerlin Chow last night.
It was pretty late. We actually probably had one of the latest seatings they offer last night. I think we sat down about 9:30. But they do have an outstanding eggplant over there. We weren't talking that much. Everyone was eating. It's pretty solid over there, Brent.
I know one guy that was very happy.
Yes.
In that group, huh?
Yes.
Tell us about this young man.
Yeah, my man Greg Monaldi, he's an attorney from Fort Lauderdale, brilliant guy. And he went yesterday 16 for 16 on all the first-round games yesterday. So you didn't have to pick against the spread, but you had to pick the straight-up winners. And it was funny. He sends me the ticket about 4 games remaining. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be tough because you got Wofford, Seton Hall, and you got Baylor, Syracuse. And I thought those were 2 of the tougher games out of the 16. And then I see Wofford pull away. They hit 3 straight 3-pointers, and I'm like, all right, he's pretty good. And he kind of disappeared from the rest of us because we didn't know where he was. He was kind of off on his own, getting ready, watching that one. And then Baylor, Mekhi Mason sinks some free throws, and we're like, all right, he's good here.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Greg Monaldi over here to my left from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I didn't believe anybody could go 16 for 16. Greg, welcome to VSiN, my friend, and congratulations.
Well, thanks a lot, Brent. It's really nice to meet you, and congratulations on what you're doing out here because I think it's really exciting. And I'm still in a little bit of a state of shock. So today I kind of took the day off a little bit. I just wanted to take the win and be happy and just enjoy it and celebrate. So, but thanks. Yes, Amal's right. Some of the games, the late games yesterday were, they were nail biters. And I had to go off on my own, find a lucky spot in the casino.
Now, full disclosure, your buddy said originally you were going to take Syracuse. And you changed your mind. You got great, and they tried to talk. They said, "No, you got great connections with Hughes, and you can't give them up, right?" Tell us that story about how you finally settled on the Baylor Bears.
All right, I'm glad you brought that up because that really makes the story. Every year I come out with some friends. We always do March Madness. Nothing better than March Madness in Las Vegas, and we do love the South Point as well. So I'm going to get the regular sheet to bet the games, the Thursday, and then on the back is the Friday games, the first round. And I see these cards, $5, win $10,000. Well, naturally, it got my interest. So I grab a couple of the cards. In fact, while I did it, I handed one to somebody else. I said, you know what? It's worth it. Take $5. Take a shot. What do you got to? You'll have fun. So I go back. I fill it all out, and I have Syracuse. Already filled out. It's done. It's filled out. As I'm about to turn it in, my friend Mark Tadino, he says, "Hey, I just got a text from Dave Lamont that Howard's not going to play for Syracuse." I go, "Oh, that's it. Got to change." So actually Mark did me a favor and he redid the card for me, and we put Baylor instead of Syracuse, and that's the difference between me being here and me being a nobody somewhere else.
Vinny, how many perfects did we have here at the South Point on that card?
4. There were 4 yesterday. Yeah.
Okay. And so he will get a check for what, about $2,500? Oh no, you had an overlay on this.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. We had an extra about $250. Yeah. So it's good for you, Mark. Yeah, that's great.
That's awesome.
Is that the only card you played?
I played one card for $5.
That was the only one.
That was it.
I have
And
to
that-
tell you, typically, folks bet at least 4 of them. They'll walk up with a $20 bill and
great
say,
story.
and they fill out 4 of them. Good for you.
That's a great
thank
story.
you very much.
Yeah.
And Dave Lamont, by the way, who's here with you along with Mark. I had known him, and he's the one who came over and said, "Brent, Dave Lamont." I said, "David, how you doing?" You know, and he was one of your buddies,
Absolutely.
who got the inside in. Now, how come they didn't go 16-0 themselves? I mean, what? How many losing tickets they cash?
I don't know, but I do give Dave Lamont a big assist, and I'm actually going to get him a nice little gift as a remembrance
it's
for
good.
that. Because without him, it doesn't happen.
That's a great.
The timing was perfect.
Did you fill one out for today? By chance?
No.
You
It's
passed?
called pressing your luck. Yeah, you know, just go out a winner. You know, be happy.
See, I'm always hawking, though. You notice that?
And our guy Amal is out at the T-Bones. That's the name of the
Yeah,
thing.
nice restaurant up
Oh,
there,
it's a
Brent.
good
I
one.
tell you,
Big
your
time.
neck of the woods. You know, the problem was I had to fill up the gas tank just to get back home. I don't generally go up there. You know, I thought I might have to take a
I
half.
thought you would Uber up there or something.
Uber, I can't afford that. Up to Summerlin? Are you kidding me? They'd have to refill the gas getting up there.
Could have
way.
stayed with us.
That's great. Amal, that was such a and listen, it was pure luck that I fell into the story. I mean, I wouldn't have known.
So it's funny, you know, when we were sitting there, we had a reservation for, I think, 9:15 or 9:30.
Right.
And I'm sitting there going, I got up there pretty late because I was doing the rap with Patrick Maher, and I go, and he's texting me, these guys are all texting me, and I'm like, I'm looking at the scores, and I have a tendency, if I'm down 1 point, it's a loss. If I'm up 1 point, I'm winning.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm looking at these scores, I'm like, Baylor's in pretty good shape. And I said, you know what? I really hope, not only, you obviously want your friends to win, but more importantly, I'm like, dude, he is not going to want to go to dinner when you've already covered 14 games, and then all of a sudden you've got a 7-point lead with like 3 minutes to go, and you blow that. You think this one's in the bank and earning interest.
Right.
And I mean, if it comes up short, it's really tough.
Have dinner at the bar.
Exactly.
Liquid dinner.
Greg, I know you didn't play the card today, but did you have any single plays or parlays on the Friday action? And if you're out of Fort Lauderdale, what do we make of Florida and Florida State going into tomorrow?
I really haven't looked at it. You know, I kind of like to do things at the last minute. That's where you have the most information at the when you make your bet. So I don't like to get too far in advance. Like, for example, the Kentucky Derby. I'm a horse player, and people say, who do you like in the Derby? Well, you know, that's not till May. So I just I don't really form any opinions. I go in with an open mind.
Will you watch the Louisiana Derby tomorrow? Will you pay just because it's on the Derby Trail?
Probably not. I'll
Really?
be watching
All right.
basketball. I'll be
Okay.
sweating basketball.
All right. Good for you. Discipline.
Amal, who do you like in the later today? Anybody in the
Yeah,
6 o'clock?
University of Central Florida, UCF taking on VCU. I think this team defensively with Taco Fall in the center there will really present some problems. And VCU is not a great shooting team. I think that could come into play. UCF comes in on a 2-game losing streak, not as concerned. Lost at Temple and lost a Conference USA game, or excuse me, American Conference game in Memphis against the Tigers. I think they'll be able to bounce back. I think they get the win. They're laying 1 right now.
Yeah, a little bit. That game open pick, Brent. A
Did it?
little bit of a move.
It
A
was
little more
pick 'em?
move on
Yeah.
UCF here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see that it's 46-37 Oregon over Wisconsin. That's one of my last man standing picks, the Oregon Ducks. I wouldn't necessarily have done it, but my Montana Mafia, as I lovingly refer to them, they loved the Ducks in this game. I was reluctant them all. The thing that has surprised me, and maybe all of us up here, I am surprised at the success of the Big Ten. I have to be perfectly honest. They have played as a group very well.
Well, I also think I'm not ready. Look, I thought the Big Ten was probably the 3rd best league this year. I thought the SEC was the best conference, and I think the ACC was 2nd best. I thought the ACC was particularly top heavy, but I thought the middle of the
You're
SEC.
evaluating the whole conference and not just the
Yes,
cream. Okay?
correct. Yeah,
Got it.
But the Big Ten, I thought the matchups proved to be favorable early on. Michigan State against Bradley, 2 versus 15. Michigan versus Montana, 3-14. Purdue, a 3-14 matchup. I know Minnesota was the most impressive one. The Gophers have been inconsistent. That's the one thing that concerned me, but they were really performing well in that second half, shooting the basketball particularly well against Louisville. So I have been impressed by what the Big Ten's been able to do thus far. I still think, though, we'll see where the chips fall. I think the ACC and the SEC are going to both go very far in this league.
And I can't leave this because your alma mater is the Big Ten team. After the Wisconsin game, there's one Big Ten team to go, and the Buckeyes are in heavy against the champion of the Big 12 tournament. The team from Ames, Iowa, they do not have Hilton Magic on their side, and a 6:50 p.m. start Pacific time. Vinny, what do we have on the Buckeyes and the Cyclones?
And this game opened 5, Brent. It went to 6 rather early in the week, starting on Sunday night. And it's gone back and forth. Pretty good two-way action right now. Iowa State 5.5. The total 140. Not a lot of movement. So pretty good two-way action on the side and the total in this game.
Brent, I have tremendous trepidation on both on the total and the side in this one. Iowa State, you alluded to, coming off that great performance in the Big 12. But Ohio State, I think a lot of people are basing them on the fact that they missed Caleb Wesson for several games down the stretch. They did get him back in the Big Ten tournament. They did bow out to Michigan State. No shame in that. But I think this could be a very competitive game. Ohio State's going to probably make it a little bit more of a half-court set where Mario Shayok and Iowa State are going to look to push tempo. To me, it's going to come down to which side can dictate tempo.
So there we have it, Greg, for Mark and you and Dave. I hope you got some good inside information from your buddy Amal Shah, huh?
Yes.
Did you take him out to dinner last night, or did the guys take him out, or did he pick up the check last night?
No, he's a big eater. I'll hit another contest.
You always want to take a vegetarian out for dinner. I mean, look at Dave over there. He picks up the check. I know that, and he's a good tipper. Anyway,
he's great company. But one thing I wanted to say, and I brought this up at dinner last night. I wanted to bring up the point that part of my handicapping is I look at like team psychology. And I pointed out some examples. And I think the Gators, I took the Gators yesterday to win. And one of the reasons why, there was a lot of national hype that I saw just casually about the Twins and Nevada and all this. And the way it works,
Guilty.
Gators, the Gators, they read this stuff. They want there's social media out there. And these teams are listening. And I thought the Gators would respond. And they did.
Good point.
Well done.
That's a very good point.
Well done.
Because still, after you get through all the analytics and all the numbers, it comes down to people playing the games. Greg, congratulations, and enjoy the rest of the time in Las Vegas with your buddies. It's always a great week. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Monaldi, everybody.
Thank you.
16-0. 16-0 here at the South Point. Cash and tickets is what it's all about. We'll be right back.
It's My Guys in the Desert with Brent Musburger, only on the Vegas Stats and Information Network. Keep up to date with everything in the world of sports gaming by going online at vsin.com.